The nice thing is it can spread out.
Sure, mine.
Thanks, Ron.
Mine. I lost my dinner.
Here, do you want to
No, I got one. It's all good.
Yeah, I know. That's why I filled this up before we got here.
I'm sure they're still alive.
Good evening, everyone. Call to order this meeting of the Board of Education held March 14th, 2024, 7:07 p.m. Rocky Hill Town Hall Council Chambers. If everyone could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Turning to our our second item agenda, Assistant Superintendent for Personnel and Student Services, Miss Amy Stevenson.
All right, good evening, everybody. It's good to see you all. So tonight I am going to show you a couple of videos. So as you know, the Dream Cafe opened for business on February 6th. So it's been really exciting. And I want to let you know that even though we really haven't advertised at all, the sign just got put up today. So now people, when they go, they're going to be able to see the sign from the road, which is great. But that just happened today. Thanks, Ron. And we're working on our website, so that we worked on today too. So that's going to be up and coming. We've created a Facebook page, Instagram page. So we have about 6 followers. So it's growing. It's okay. And so what I'd like to do tonight is to show you, for those of you that are aware, we had Channel 3 and Channel 8 come out and see the kids and see the Dream Cafe, and they thought it was amazing. And I'm going to show you those clips, and then I'm going to show you about a 3-minute video, just so you can see some of the things the kids have been doing with the customers coming in and just some of the things they've been working on. So with that being said, I'm going to show you the videos now.
I always wondered that when I was in the audience.
Welcome to Dream Cafe. Welcome in and enjoy.
One of a kind eatery is open in connection with Rocky Hill High School and inviting training for students with disabilities.
News 8's Sarah Cody takes us to the Dream Cafe in today's Connecticut Families.
Sunday, Jared Sullivan hopes to become a car mechanic. And right now, he's learning job skills at a place that's all about ambitions.
It's more than a cafe, it's an experience.
Welcome to the Dream Cafe, a brand new eatery providing training for young adults with disabilities.
I love being here. Everybody's just so nice and so chill. Even the music that we have playing is chill.
There's no real roadmap as to kind of doing this. There are independent models out there doing similar things, but nothing associated with a district.
This is the first cafe of its kind connected to a school district. The Dream Cafe is an offshoot of Rocky Hill High School's Dream Academy, the transition program for students with special needs. Chairman of the Board of Education, Stephen Slattery, says this was 3 years in the making.
It had universal board support, universal town support.
The atmosphere is wonderful. It gives you just a warm feeling of contributing and belonging.
On this weekday morning, the place is packed. Mayor Lisa Murata says Rocky Hill is proud to push the envelope.
I hope everyone comes here and sees just how phenomenal these kids are and what contributors they are.
Well, there are some good options like the monster cookie, chocolate chip cookie, or even a banana bread / apple cake.
So far, these students love the food and the experience.
Like serving the customers and stuff and cleaning the tables.
It's all about providing a future for these students once they leave the program at 22 years old. They are working hard and dreaming big.
The dream is to have all of these students, and all of our students, frankly, but all of these students, particularly with this project, live as productive and successful lives as they can.
Currently, this place is growing, and I'd like to see it grow more.
Now, organizers hope that other school districts will study this model and recreate it for their students. Right now, the Dream Cafe is open Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. For more information, you can just head to the Connecticut Families page of WTNH.com. I'm Sarah Cody, News 8.
Welcome back. Well, the team behind a new Rocky Hill restaurant is turning dreams into really cool realities. Channel 3's Roger Suzanin introduces us to the incredible young people behind the Dream Cafe in this edition of Something's Cooking.
It's been word of mouth, very low-key.
Despite zero advertising, the lines are already long at Rocky Hill's newest coffee shop, and it's easy to understand why. The food?
This is this amazing yogurt parfait.
Phenomenal. The drinks? Delish. But it's the people here that truly make the Dream Cafe a magical place.
I tear up just thinking about it now.
You see, all of the workers are 18 to 22-year-old students with developmental disabilities.
They're amazing. It's truly amazing.
What would you say is your favorite thing to do here at Dream Cafe?
Probably doing a cash register, I guess, and greeting the customers.
Ani and her teammates like Faraz and Daniel are learning skills that can help them grow both professionally and socially.
Breakfast. This one. Good choice.
Yeah, it is a good choice.
Believe it or not, this is Maddie's first day of training, and within minutes, she rings up her first customer.
Thank you.
Thank you. The Dream Cafe only opened 3 weeks ago at this space on New Britain Avenue, but Rocky Hill School's Assistant Superintendent Amy Stevenson says the students are already far exceeding all expectations.
It's been going amazing. It's been going great. The kids are doing phenomenally.
Local leaders like Mayor Lisa Murata and Town Council member Mimi Thoreau have already become regulars.
It shows what we can achieve when we all work together.
I think it's very important as a member of the community to support these young people.
And with every transaction, this dream team is building something special within themselves.
It does make me feel a bit proud, I guess you could say.
Oh, my hungry homies, look at this feast the Dream Cafe team has made for me. We got the classic croissant and the chocolate, and you know me, I gotta go with the chocolate. Here we go. Oh, that is so good. Here at Dream Cafe, great food, even better employees, and the absolute best mission possible. Reporting in Rocky Hill for Something's Cooking, I'm Roger Suzanin, Channel 3 Eyewitness News. Oh, yeah.
So I do want to let you all know that since those aired, we did put some sound baffles in, right, Ron? So it's the acoustics are a little better now. So, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if anyone has questions. But I do want to let you know, and I can get more detail. We just took a quick look at the finances since the Dream Cafe has been open. I'm pretty excited to say that in terms of what we've spent on the consumables like food and things like that, with what we've generated has pretty much been a break even. So that's pretty amazing when you consider we haven't advertised, we're only open 3 days a week. So I think that says that the community is going to support us. So thank you to the community, and thank you to the board, and thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Stevenson, for all the work. I know you've been working on this for so long. It's really exciting, and I think all of our board members sharing that excitement of seeing it come to fruition and really seeing their faces light up when they're working, and it's very, very exciting. So thank you very much, and thank you for the video. I wish you would have left me out, but. First thing my daughter said is I looked fat, but in any event, thank you.
They always say the camera adds a few pounds.
Right.
I think it's
So,
just it's
now I'll vouch
like
for
a
that.
myth. Don't take it seriously. It's okay.
Thank you, and thank you, Ms. Stevenson. All right, turning to agenda item number 3, special recognition. Dr. Zito.
Yes. So tonight we have. Our mayor here. I'd like to invite Mayor Murata to come up, and Mr. Dillon, Mr. Brian A. Dillon, served on our board for 14 years. He is receiving a mayoral proclamation for service to the community of Rocky Hill. So we also have Mr. Frank Morse here, former board chair.
Just taking pictures.
Frank?
Frank has camera duty tonight. Great. So good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Zito and board members and ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, I am here on behalf of the town council and the entire town of Rocky Hill to present Mr. Brian A. Dillon with a distinguished service to the town of Rocky Hill proclamation. And so I'd like to read it to you because it's really incredible, all of the things that Brian has accomplished and the amount of time that he's served our schools. So we all know that Brian is a faithful servant of the Board of Education, but he started in 2009 and he didn't retire from service until 2023. And during this time period, he held the offices of vice chair, which was from 2013 to 2019, and then as chairman from 2019 to 2023. And under his exemplary leadership, the Rocky Hill Board of Education noted among many accomplishments consistent increases in student achievement, numerous district-wide facility improvements, the comprehensive renovation of the Rocky Hill High School, the timely construction and the opening of Mosier School, and the implementation of a wide array of programs from supporting children with special needs, which includes the Dream Academy and the Dream Cafe. And during his period of service, Brian also collaborated with his counterparts in town government to expand and create athletic and recreational opportunities for children with special needs, such as the Sea Cub swimming, Sidekick soccer, and of course, the construction of Miracle Field. And in addition, Brian served with distinction during the period of the worldwide COVID-19 pandemic. And as a result of his steadfast leadership, the Rocky Hill Public Schools remained open for in-person learning during a period of time when many other school districts were closed or limited due to virtual instruction. And so, on behalf of the entire town, I wish to extend an appreciation to Brian for his dutiful and selfless service to the town of Rocky Hill and to the students and to the staff of the Rocky Hill Public High Schools and all schools, and call upon all of our residents to please join me in recognizing Mr. Brian A. Dillon.
First of all, thank you so much. I'm humbled by all this. I think we do this for the good of our community and the good of the town. And we've all collaborated together, and I think all of us have shared in these successes that the mayor highlighted tonight. I'd like to just take a moment and first of all, thank my wonderful wife, my son Gavin, who's here today, and my daughter. I'd also like to thank Mayor Murata and the town council. The collaboration that the board has had with the council through the years has been the foundation of a lot of the success that we've accomplished. So certainly thank you to Mayor Murata and the council. And also thank you to my counterpart who showed up back there, Mr. Frank Morse, who served on the board with me for many years and was chair before me. And I think one of the things that Frank and I always tried to do was the board should plan for future boards and endeavor to higher aspirations and bigger goals for the community. And a lot of the projects that the board undertakes may not be fulfilled by members of this board, but may be the groundwork for future boards. And that's the real way the board should operate. I'm so happy to see that the Dream Academy has been such a success. I think that was one of the last projects that I really tried to push through. And going forward, I would say the ones I think about now are the Media Center at GMS. Hopefully the board is still pursuing that. And also, what's going to happen to the Dream Academy in 5 years? We got it started, but I think one of the goals for the board now is to think what a permanent home and place for the Dream Academy will be. And that's got to start now because 4 or 5 years comes quickly. And again, laying that foundation and that next phase of achievement is really the thing that the board needs to look at. So thank you for this. I really appreciate it. I'm humbled and I'm honored. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon, and thank you for all your years of service, and also for kind of mentoring me and kind of learning the ropes of this. Fairly new to the board, but Brian took me under his wing and kind of showed me the ropes, so thank you for that as well. Up next is
we have some guests from the Special Olympics that are here to award a championship school banner. Invite you gentlemen up, please. We have Gabby, are you here tonight with Ms. Bergeron?
Dr. Zito, members of the board, good evening. My name is Steve Trifone, and I am one of the assistant directors from the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference Unified Sports Program, and we are part of Special Olympics Connecticut. Our program offers opportunities that join students with and without intellectual disabilities to participate in athletic programs and activities. Currently, over 85% of eligible high schools in Connecticut have a unified sports program, including Rocky Hill. Some of these schools go above and beyond to successfully demonstrate a larger commitment of inclusion by offering additional activities to achieve the overall goal of full school-wide social inclusion. Those schools get recognized as a National Unified Champion School by Special Olympics North America. The Rocky Hill High School Unified Sports Program serves as an example to others of how to make all students feel part of their school-wide facilities. There are 3 prongs that schools must achieve for Special Olympics to be recognized as a National Unified Champion School. The first is whole school engagement. Some examples of how Rocky Hill meet those requirements were fans in the stands, a school-wide inclusion day, and curriculum offerings in unified physical education and unified arts. The second prong is inclusive youth leadership, and the Rocky Hill Unified students helped organize, design, and presented a Youth Inclusion Summit event which had over 40 schools in attendance this past fall. Additionally, there are Rocky Hill students that serve on the statewide Unified Youth Activation Council. The third prong is, of course, Unified Sports Program, in which Rocky Hill offers many sport opportunities for students with and without intellectual disabilities, including unified soccer, unified cornhole, unified track, and unified basketball, which, by the way, they participated in a major tournament today, and some of those kids are here. The Rocky Hill Unified Program is no newcomer to this prestigious award. They initially received national recognition in 2019 through the continued dedication and commitment of your outstanding unified teacher coaches, Gabriella Brzezowski and Allison Bergeron, along with the support of the Rocky Hill Athletic Department and your administration. Rocky Hill is proud to renew their national status through the year 2026. I applaud Rocky Hill School District and all of you present here for supporting this inclusive program for all students. At this time, we are really honored to have with us this evening the President and CEO of Special Olympics Connecticut, Mr. Mike Mason, who will speak and present the actual national banner. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you for giving us the time this evening just to address you. You have a lot to be proud of in this community. You do a great job with unified sports. You have some amazing people that are at the core of that. But that doesn't happen without the administration, without the Board of Education, and without the mayor's support to have that kind of program in your community. And I will share with you, we are very proud at Special Olympics Connecticut that in our little state of Connecticut, we have more unified champion banner schools than any other state in the United States. Part of that is our history. So unified sports as a concept started here in 1991, and it was my predecessor, Bo Doherty, who is known globally as the father of unified sports, a movement that started here that has now grown to serve almost 7 million people around the globe. So we have unbelievable programs here. The thing I want families to understand and know is that Special Olympics Unified Sports starts in our young athletes program at ages 2.5. So we offer that. We work with and partner with preschool programs. And we had athletes that competed in winter games. We had an athlete that was 80 years old in unified sports a few weeks ago at our winter games. So unified is for life. And you'll know that everybody that's involved in it, I think the students, whether you're a student with special needs or you're a mainstream student in the school system here, you're a better person for it. It really, right? It changes your life. It is a circle of friendship and support, and it's the way that we should all live in communities. The beauty of it is it doesn't end when you graduate from high school. We have unified sports offered in 70 communities around the state of Connecticut, and we do that year-round. So we have students that are part of a high school or middle school program who are in our community program in the summertime, or they don't like basketball at this time of year, so they do winter sports with us. So I thank you for that. I applaud you for all your hard work. And Gabby, I've known since she was a little kid. So seeing her tonight makes me feel very old. 7 years teaching here, but amazing young people like that come out of unified sports, that come out, we're part of unified sports. We're part of the Youth Activation Council in Connecticut. And now they distinguish themselves as educators in the state of Connecticut. And they sit on boards of ed now because I'm getting older. So I'm looking and talking to people sometimes that are leaders, that are mayors in our communities that were special ed kids 30 years ago. So it's a dynamic program. I applaud you for doing it, and I'm honored to be here tonight to help present this banner to your schools and to your town. Very proud moment for your community. Thank you. Now let's get all who the important people. Steve says nicely, oh, Mike is here, but it's really the students here that are part of unified sports. They're the superstars.
We did learn it the hard way.
That's all right.
No, it's all right.
We can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming out tonight. And thank you to our community, our students. I mean, the community is what makes these things happen, and thank you. All right, moving along to agenda item number 4, audience participation. This is the part of the meeting where is set aside for the public to comment. We just ask that if you have any comments to keep it to 2 minutes, and just to identify yourself and the street you live on when you approach the podium. So, does anyone have any input for public comment? Anybody? All right, no public comment tonight. Up next is report of student representatives. Starting out, we'll have members of the high school student council who will report on Rocky Hill High School. Ladies?
Hello, Board of Education. Quite a bit has happened in the last 2 months since we have not been here. Katie and I are excited to share with you all the different events that have taken place at our school. Just last month, on February 23rd, we hosted a cabaret where the students of our school performed songs by themselves or with others. This event was an accomplishment with a big turnout, and it was amazing to hear the talented voices coming from our peers, which helped us raise money for the music department. Not only were the talented students of our school demonstrated through singing, but also the math team exhibited their intelligence on March 16th by winning 2nd overall in a competition against multiple other towns. Additionally, we hosted the 2nd annual Women in Action event on March 7th. 9 extremely impactful, strong women from a variety of different backgrounds, ethnicities, and job fields came to our school and talked to students who attended. Some of the women talked about what it was like being in higher positions in male-dominated fields, while others talked about what being a powerful woman really means. The people who attended had nothing but amazing things to say about the event, and we cannot thank the women who visited our high school enough for inspiring the young women here.
In addition to the achievements of our math scholars, this month the letters of the Spanish National Honor Society were mailed out to students who had a 90 or higher for 3 semesters straight. Haley and I will be attending the induction ceremony for the World Language Honor Society on the 26th of this month in the auditorium at the high school. This national honor will encourage students to continue the spread of culture and language throughout our Rocky Hill community. Now, jumping back to February, an advisory was held for all grades to inform the school about the new composting program that we have at the high school. The Environmental Club has been planning the introduction of composting since spring of last year and has done an amazing job. The Environmental Club president spoke to the student body to explain what composting is, how it will help our community, and how the high school will be carrying out this program. Composting at the high school officially started February 5th and has been successful ever since. But the Environmental Club and the rest of the school will continue to encourage all students to compost their food waste to eventually be used in our gardens. Thank you for all listening, and again, congratulations to the Unified Sports Program. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ladies. Next up is student representatives from Mosier School.
Good evening, Board of Ed members and the Rocky Hill community. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Annabelle Diaz, and I am the principal at Mosier School. This evening, we have 2 outstanding student leaders representing Mosier, so they will give you a little glimpse of what goes on at the school. So let's welcome Carolyn Frazier Quijano and Vince Casparino to the podium.
Caroline. Hello, my name is Hello, my name is Caroline, and I am a 4th grade student at Mosier School in Miss Grimaldi's class.
Good evening, my name is Vince, and I'm a 5th grade student at Mosier School in Miss Lynch's class. We are honored to be here this evening to present the great experiences we are having at Mosier School.
This year we have a very active student council. They planned a toy drive, and we had overwhelming participation from the community to support children at CCMC during the month of Giving. We were very grateful to pay it forward to others in need.
Congrats to Ronald Chodori and Olivia Camerdiner for demonstrating outstanding artistic ability in the performing and visual arts. Families had a great time celebrating the arts across the state at the AquaTurf Banquet Hall. Our STEAM labs are full of engaging experiments. We have enjoyed the science, technology, engineering, art, and math challenges. The STEAM lab's goal is to engage students in hands-on activities that inspire creativity and strengthen critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Students work together to complete these challenges like scientists. We have learned how far turkeys can fly, we've built sleds and sent them down a cardboard hill to learn about gravity and speed, and even explored building an igloo that will allow a mini cube to enter through the front door, just to name a few. As one student said, STEAM Lab is my favorite day of the month.
We celebrated Kindness Month in February, and the Student Council wanted to show staff how much they appreciate everything they do. The students created a compliment and coffee cart for the staff. The Student Council also sold carnations for Kindness Week for students to send kindness notes to each other. They sold over 300 carnations.
We ended Kindness Week with the Masquerade Kindness Gala. We had 257 students participate in our first school dance. We had so much fun, and everyone was dressed to impress. The dance was supported by the Mosier staff, PAC, and the Rocky Hill Youth and Family Service staff.
Gita Varajan, author of Save Me the Seat, visited Mosier School on March 1st to celebrate Read Across America Day. The 4th and 5th grade students had their own assembly with Gita. Save Me a Seat has a great theme for every reader. You should not assume things about a person before you know who they really are. It is a great book about acceptance and friendship. Gita provided students with an opportunity to autograph their books and also led a writer's workshop. We also learned that we all have a great story to tell and everyone's stories matter. 4th grade students visited the Connecticut Science Center. We learned more about the human body, the brain, and other science-related topics.
Mosier has partnered with the Faithful Friends Therapy Dog Program. The goal of the program is to encourage students to build a love for reading. The therapy dog's name is Zoe. Students will have an opportunity to read to Zoe. Zoe is a Bernedoodle, and her favorite activities are playing in the snow, listening to children read, playing with her sister Savannah, and getting belly rubs. Zoe will be visiting Mosier School once a week for an hour. Students and staff are excited to have Zoe in the building learning with us.
The district art show was a huge success. Our art theme for the school year is Life is Sweet at Mosier. Yes, it is. 4th grade students created candy jars, and 5th grade students worked on designing sneaker candies. Congrats to Mrs. Shear and all the art teachers and students in the district that participated. Nice job. We kicked off Unified Theater this week. The goal of the program is to provide opportunities for students of all abilities to practice in theater arts. Students will develop a theme to create a show and perform the show in front of the school.
We have a busy second semester of the school year. We started celebrating the semester with the principal's March Reading Challenge. If 80% of the school population meets the reading challenge, Principal Diaz will participate in a silly string attack. We are also kicking off Unified Sports to provide all students of all abilities an opportunity to engage with each other in a fun environment while working together toward a common goal. We have a few field trips planned. Both grades will be attending Camp Sloper to work on team-building activities and challenges. We are looking forward to another fun field day and the BMX show for a school-wide assembly. These are bike professionalists that choreograph stunts and high-flying tricks and skits. Lastly, we're also planning several activities to celebrate 5th grade students as they get ready to transition to GMS. 5th grade students will be attending Lake Compounds, participate in a fun grade level picnic, and end the year with a culminating celebration at the high school.
Thank you for everything that you do and for supporting Mosier School. Gracias.
Thank you so much, student representatives, both from the high school and from Mosier. That was awesome. With that, should we take a recess? Just want to say thank you again or congratulations to the Unified Sports Program. It's an amazing achievement. Look forward to seeing that banner hanging at the sports games in the gym. Also, another thank you to Mr. Dillon, Mr. Morse, and Mayor Murata, who are here. I think as a board, we all, one thing we appreciate is the collaborative nature or spirit that you guys kind of have shown us, so I hope that we're all going to continue in that endeavor. With that, I think we'll take a 5-minute recess to allow people to take pictures if they like, and then we'll reconvene. So with that, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion for recess.
A motion for recess by Mr. Kosker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Miss, who was it? Miss Tucker. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Nay. Motion carries 9-0. Adjourn. Or recess, sorry. Not adjourned. Still have business.
you should be able to duck out, man.
You
go with Chuck, you know?
Consolidate
Like, I'm going
space.
second. I'm out of here. You know? I got class. That's what you got to do.
Call back to order
Staying here.
this meeting of the Board of Education of Rocky Hill. Time is now 8 o'clock. I believe we are on agenda item number 5, which is approval of the minutes. We have January 8th, 2024 Board of Education meeting, January 23rd, 2024 Board of Education budget workshop, January 25th, 2024 Board of Education budget workshop, February 22nd, 2024 Board of Education School Safety Committee meeting, February 22nd, 2024 Board of Education Policy Committee meeting, and February 29th, 2024 Board of Education special meeting. Does anyone have any corrections, deletions, or insertions for the minutes? With that, I'll entertain a motion.
Approval of the minutes listed on the agenda and stated by Mr. Slattery.
Moved by Ms. Tucker, seconded by Ms. Manella. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, nay. That motion carries 9-0. Moving on to agenda item number 6. Correspondence, Dr. Zito.
No correspondence this month.
Thank you, Dr. Zito. Agenda item number 7 is the consent calendar, which is empty. On to committee reports. Curriculum.
The curriculum committee has not met, but we are scheduled tentatively to meet April 4th.
All right. And facilities.
The Facilities Committee has not met since the last meeting. We will look to schedule a meeting for planning going forward with certain projects.
Thank you, Mr. Mr. Gavin. Finance?
We have not met as a committee. As a board, we've been focused on the budget process.
Correct. Personnel and negotiations, I don't think you guys have met.
No.
Policy?
We have not met since the last meeting.
Special education?
We have not met either.
School safety?
We met on February 22nd. Had a nice conversation with our SROs who were in attendance, and we discussed the proposed man trap at GMS.
Thank you, Mr. Clemens. Technology?
We have not had a meeting since our last meeting.
Correct, counsel?
We have not met.
And the calendar committee has not met. And I think it's important to note that obviously we've all been focused on the budget. We should be having committee meetings in the coming month and a half. Moving on to agenda item number 18, discussion and possible action on budget proposal for fiscal year 2024-2025. All right. So we had our budget workshops, and we had a special meeting to kind of address any additional issues, as well as for Dr. Zito to present after I kind of challenged him to put the math coordinator back in. So with that being said, we're here now. And does anyone have any additions, subtractions, or motions with regard to the budget? Anyone?
Yes. So unfortunately, I missed the last meeting, but after looking at the math coordinator position again, and being that it was originally removed, and being that we are looking to keep our budget within, a good range, I think that removing the position as it was originally intended to be is prudent.
All right. So are you moving to remove it?
Yes.
A motion by Mr. Gavin. Do I have a second?
Well, second.
Go ahead.
Seconded by Ms. Manella. So at this point, we'll have discussion on it. Everyone will get 2 minutes, and we'll go down the line. Mr. Kosker?
I guess my first question would be, because I don't have the budget in front of me right now that we're looking at. I know we had the notes from last time, so it was that slide that showed the adjustments, right? That one page that showed with the adjustments, that one. So that's what we're voting on, is that?
It would be just for I believe the motion was to remove the math coordinator.
Out of that, though. I just want to know what we're.
Out of that new proposed budget,
Out of that
yes.
new proposed budget with that number.
With that number, including the challenge to put that position in.
Right, okay.
But leaving everything else, anything else that was part of the proposed.
Okay.
So the motion on the table is, which has been made and seconded, is to remove the math coordinator position from the budget.
If I am correct, it is line item 1000.14.111.1000.06.
Thank you, Mr. Gavin.
Cool, thank you. Thank you.
Any comments, Mr. Kosker? No? Ms. Alfredo?
I am not in favor of removing the math coordinator position simply because I believe we need somebody in charge of math. And it also sounded like there was some teacher evaluations that our math coordinator also did. And I think that could put an extra burden on other admin. And so I am in favor of keeping the math coordinator position.
Thank you, Ms. Alfredo. Ms. Barron-Morphia?
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we try to get rid of the math coordinator at one point and then we had to bring her back? Position back? I mean, this is years ago, but I mean, I feel like if we do that, we should learn from our past mistakes, I guess.
About 15 to 17 years ago, I think the math coordinator was removed. It was reinstated as I was coming into the district by the board before I was hired.
Right. So
And then we hired the math coordinator once I was on board.
So I think it was kind of proven that we kind of need the position. And right now, I mean, our math is doing well. So I don't feel comfortable with removing that position.
Thank you, Ms. Barron-Morphia. Ms. Manella?
I will say that although I did second the motion, I would have preferred to not have seen the 3 AP positions posted in the budget. I probably would have preferred to have those 3 out of the budget and kept the math coordinator in. But I understand with I understand with teacher evaluations and all the challenges that our schools are going through right now. So I'm going to just keep my second and go forward with that.
Thank you, Ms. Manella. Mr. Gavin? I should have started with you, but I'll go with you.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're adding, as Ms. Manella said, we're adding 3 assistant principal positions, which includes one, brand new position, not as far as the number of admin people. Dr. Zito presented the budget with the desire to have those 3 positions and had utilized the math coordinator position to help fill one of those. I know that we asked to look into adding it back, but when we look at the budget, we've got 3 new assistant principals. I'm not sure that the math coordinator is a needed position right now.
Thank you, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Trauer?
I just have a quick question. This position is listed at $134,000. Is that what we would reduce the bottom line by, or plus benefits?
Yes, so my understanding is.
You would reduce the bottom line by that amount. And to clarify, the original budget proposal asked for 1 new administrator because we were going to be reassigning a special ed supervisor and a math coordinator. At the end of the second budget session on January 25th, I was directed by the board to put the math position back in and keep the number at 5.8 or lower. And we took you through that exercise on February 29th, where we reinstated the math coordinator, came in at 5.67, which is lower than 5.84. And I was also, again, asked, what does this do for overall administrators? So the request at 567, to be clear, adds 2 administrative positions. If you're removing the math coordinator, we go back to 1 total net gain in administrator ranks. Obviously, I will reassign, any staff members affected will be reassigned to an equivalent position.
Thank you.
That's what I would do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other comments, Mr. Schauber?
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schauber. Mr. Clemens?
I'm in favor of removing it. It was stated before, it's initially removed, that we challenged, so Dr. Zito put it back in because we had some discussion about it. But I'm in favor of removing it.
Thank you, Mr. Clemens. Ms. Tucker?
I'm also in favor of removing the position. Seeing our test scores for math, we're in an excellent position right now. And I think that coordinator did help us get to that place, but I have faith in that our curriculum at this point can sustain. And I feel as though if we start decreasing, we can then relook at that position. So I would be in favor of removing that position.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker. I guess that just leaves me. So I'm conflicted on it. I hate to see it go because we've done so well in math, and we just celebrated a bunch of awards for math. But at the same time, I feel that our administration is confident that we can absorb those duties with our current positions. Otherwise, I believe it wouldn't have been presented as being removed initially. So I think that I would echo what Ms. Tucker articulated as far as the fact that it helped us get to where we are, and I think it propped us up to a position where I think that our current administration and teachers can sustain that. I think it is unfortunately a tough budget time. I wish we had unlimited resources because there's a lot of things that we would love to do, but we are a public school and we have to make tough decisions. So, with that being said, again, I would echo Ms. Tucker's articulation in the fact that I have confidence in both the administration and the staff to absorb those responsibilities and to keep us sustained where we are in excellence in math. So with that, I will call the matter to, I think everybody spoke, correct? All right, so we'll call it to a vote. The motion on the floor is to remove the math coordinator. It was moved by Mr. Gavin, seconded by Ms. Manella. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Who is that? Please hold your hands up so we can get them. Mr. Gavin, Mr. Shabra, Mr. Clemens, Ms. Tucker, Ms. Manella, and Mr. Kosker. All those opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Ms. Lafredo and Ms. Barron-Morphia. So the yeas have it, 7-2. Motion passes. We will removing the math coordinator from the proposed budget. With that, do we have any other motions? Well, I should say, are there any other motions for additions, subtractions, redactions, corrections, anything to the budget?
Yeah, Mr. Kosker here. I'm still been struggling. I guess I'm not quite making the motion, but I'm still struggling with the assistant principal's positions for the reasons that a number of board members have shared. I've heard all the discussion back and forth from current administration. I've talked to community members, so I'm still struggling with it, I guess. So I'm literally sitting here now not even knowing whether I want to make a motion to remove those line items from the budget. I know it's different because it's been proposed a couple different ways. Again, I'm new at the board, as you all know, so this process has been new to me, even though I've been sitting on the other side of the podium for a while. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a lot to ask to put assistant principals and / sped directors at 3 elementary schools, each running about 400 students, roughly. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
All right, so is that a motion, or now's the time?
I did not make a motion. I was just
Okay.
expressing my.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Kosker. Does anyone have any motions, redactions, subtractions, additions to the budget? All right, with that, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. The Rocky Hill Board of Education hereby adopts its operating budget for fiscal year 2024-2025 in the amount of $54,454,229.
We have a motion by Ms. Tucker. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Clemens. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, the ayes have it, 9-0. Thank you, Ms. Tucker. All right. Thank you, everyone on the board. I know the budget is always an arduous and time-consuming project. So I thank you all for your attention, hard work, and consideration, and just thank you in that regard. So moving on to agenda item number 19, this approval of board education policy revisions, second reading, policy 4300 and policy 5670. Should we just
You had a first read already, and you went through this. I think Mr. Gavin shared with me a concern on the suicide prevention policy.
670.
5670, I think his recommendation was to remove aggressively and replace it with something such as assertively, in terms of the board's response to suicidal situations. Right?
Correct. I don't think that word in that paragraph is what we want.
Make a motion to change
Fair enough. I'll entertain a motion.
I would like to make a motion to remove aggressively and input assertively.
As to
I don't know how to say.
policy number
5,
5670,
bottom of the first paragraph.
bottom of the first paragraph.
Before you vote on that, can you just point to which paragraph you're referring
Sure.
to, please?
In the bottom of the first paragraph, technically 3 lines up, although the third line is not very long. So third line up, towards the right, it says aggressively and immediately. The motion is to change that to assertively and immediately.
Where are we at? I got lost.
There was an inquiry as to what the motion was. So that was moved to replace the word aggressively with assertively in policy number 5670. Is there, by Mr. Gavin, is there a second?
Second that.
Seconded by Mr. Chabra. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Nay. No nays. The ayes have it, 9-0. We'll change that aggressively to assertively in policy 5670. Any other revisions? Or corrections? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the revisions as corrected.
Motion to approve policy 4300, increasing educator diversity, and policy 5670 with suicide prevention and interventions with the adjustment that was just moved.
We have a motion by Ms. Tucker. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Lafredo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, 9-0. All right, on to agenda item number 20, approval of the resolution for the Connecticut Grown for Connecticut Kids grant.
I believe that's me. Is it okay if I just say a few
Yes,
words?
Ms.
Okay.
Lafredo. I mean, Ms. Leistro, please.
All right, so
Or Dr.
I'm proud to say that our botany teacher, Mrs. Kim Antol, applied for a farm to school grant through the state of Connecticut and was recently awarded the grant. I attached some of the details that you can peruse, but basically we were awarded $32,450 with 20,607 of that being allocated to purchase hydroponic equipment for one of our greenhouses. So what we're doing is we're taking one of our greenhouses and turning it into, instead of just growing plants, we are going to begin growing lettuce, herbs, strawberries, real food that we can then turn around and do so many wonderful things with. So this grant affords us the opportunity to really make that happen. We did do this in conjunction with Mr. Ron LaMontagne. So some of the money is allocated to help make sure the electrical, the irrigation, and those type of changes are made to the greenhouse so we can do this change. Bottom line, in order to get the money, the board has to adopt this resolution, and we have to submit that to the state. And that solidifies us officially receiving the grant. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions? Ms. Lafredo?
Yes. First and foremost, I think that the grant is fantastic. I'm so happy to see that this is occurring or will be occurring in our district, especially because I think it goes hand in hand with the food scrapping, as they will be able to use all of the compost coming back from Blue Earth to help out. But I'm just wondering, I noticed the project timeline started in January of 2024. Does anything on that project timeline need to be updated just because we're just hearing about it now?
It will, because it's still going to take a while for us to actually get the money so we can purchase the equipment. So we are off a little bit from our projected timeline, but not to worry. With Mr. Ron LaMontagne and Ms. Kim Antal, they will get going on ordering all the equipment so we can be jumping right in, at least hopefully by May, June, we'll see.
Okay.
Okay?
Amazing. Thank you so much.
It really is exciting, and we're anticipating partnering with Ms. Lori Stanzik from Family Youth Services to do some projects with students that get trained through our botany class and then perhaps can go work in the town gardens. So there's some really exciting potential opportunities for our students who are passionate about pursuing a career in farming and agricultural industry.
Thank you, Ms. Listro. Or Dr. Listro, I apologize. Anybody else have any comments or questions for Dr. Listro? I would echo the sentiments of Ms. Lafredo. It's excellent, and thank you for pursuing this. So do we need to vote on
Yeah,
this?
you need to read the resolution and vote on it.
All right, read it first and then.
Sure.
All right. That it is in the best interest of Rocky Hill Board of Education, Rocky Hill, Connecticut, to enter into contracts with the Connecticut Department of Education. In furtherance of this resolution, the Rocky Hill Board of Education authorizes the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction to enter into and sign said contract with the Board of Education, Rocky Hill, Connecticut. Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction is further authorized to provide additional information and execute such other documents as may be required by the state or federal government in connection with and to execute any amendments, decisions, and revisions thereto. The town is authorized to impress the seal of Rocky Hill on any such documents, amendments, rescissions, or revision.
Take a vote on approving that.
With that, I will take a vote as to approving the resolution as stated. Or do we need a motion to that effect?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, motion to.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the resolution as read.
All right, moved by Mr. Kosker.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Lafredo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, 9-0. Thank you again, Dr. Listro. All right. Agenda item number 21 is Assistant Superintendent for Finance and Operations. Mr. Zettergren is not here tonight, so Dr. Zito, if you could.
Thank you. So you have Chuck's report in front of you dated Friday, March 8th. Going to touch upon a couple of things in the report. We do have a deficit in line item 113. We've got some paras we brought on for the Bright Beginnings program. So we'll be getting reimbursement there. So I think that deficit's going to level out eventually. The non-certified pension is in a deficit, line 235. Again, we anticipate that that'll be resolved by the end of the year. Pupil Services is running a deficit due to services required for students with special needs, including some expenses with the Dream Cafe. the repairs and maintenance line item has a deficit because we cut a PO for the science labs at the middle school. We expect that that will be resolved through the CIP appropriation to finish the middle school classrooms. In and out of district tuition is running a deficit. This report does not include the excess cost reimbursement. I know Ms. Manella usually asks the question. I am pleased to report we received the check after this report was prepared in the amount of $579,000. So that is going to offset, that deficit was $752. And again, we get a second payment later on in the spring. So I anticipate that that will resolve itself. Again, at this point, you have the full report in front of you. If you have any specific questions that I can't answer this evening, I can follow up with an email and get the answer from Mr. Zettergren.
Thank you, Dr. Zito. Any questions for Dr. Zito?
Yeah, quick question, Mark. Is the excess cost, is it still like 71%? The excess
Yeah,
cost
70% was the number we were given for this
That's where it is. Okay, right now this year. I know they're working with the state legislature this year to increase that. There's a bunch of bills in front of them.
We're operating off 70, and that's the figure
Okay.
we got.
All right, cool. Thanks.
I feel like they say every year.
I know, they've been saying that for a long
Never
time.
increases.
I know, it never increases. I know. It's a lot of money.
Any other questions for Dr. Zito?
I'm just pleased I had the answer to Ms.
Anticipated.
All right, excellent. Agenda item number 22 is Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instructions, Dr. Leestro.
Okay.
I like that.
So first, I'm just going to piggyback off of the announcement that came from the Mosher students. They did have their One Book, One Author event on March 1st, and you all do have a copy. Normally, I give you your books in the February board meeting, so you get the surprise, but there's no surprise. It was Save Me a Seat, and Mrs. Varadarajan, who was the co-author of the book, told the experience she had to write this book. It was very powerful. She talked about how she integrated her own experience growing up in India and how she happened to meet Sarah Weeks, who was her writing teacher at Columbia University as she was getting her teaching degree. And it was very powerful. The students really connected with it. She's a 4th grade teacher, so it's no surprise. She kept everybody captive and had a very interactive presentation. To celebrate One Book, One Author, at Stevens in West Hill, we brought in author Peter Reynolds. He came in at the end of February 27th, and he read aloud his book, Ish, and answered questions, and even provided a draw-along. We did purchase the book, The Dot, that you have here, for all of the students at both schools, and this book is part of what he calls a Cretilogy, along with Ish, the one that he read in Sky Color, because they celebrate creativity and diversity. So again, a really wonderful message. It was online, which is a different format for our youngest students, but they really did enjoy it, and it was still very interactive. And I included a little message that the author sent the students after the presentation, which I thought was a nice little touch. And special thanks to Mary Schaefer, our language arts coordinator, because she is the one that coordinates all of these wonderful author events for us. Looking ahead, if you have a student in the high school, a senior that is, you may have gotten notification that we are pleased to offer once again to seniors the opportunity to take the test, to get a seal of biliteracy. This year, we are offering that on Saturday, April 20th, and the applications are due March 28th. So if anybody is interested in having their child sit for that test, the advantage is if they pass it, then they get awarded the seal of biliteracy on their graduation transcript. So it really is quite an honor. It shows that they are proficient in the language that they test in. And I think many of our students will hopefully test and take advantage of that opportunity. And I'd like to give kudos to Mr. Matthew Bennett, who's facilitating this event for us. Just a reminder, Stevens, West Hill, and Mosier have elementary conferences March 21st and March 22nd next week. And I do want to thank the board for adding this into our school calendar. The feedback so far from parents and teachers is they're very appreciative of the opportunity to have this structured time to meet and have the conversations. As the high school students mentioned, Tuesday, March 26th is the World Language Honor Society induction ceremony, and board members are always welcome to join us, even if you do not have a child or know somebody who's being inducted. You're always welcome. SATs are scheduled to take place on April 27th, and that notification has gone out. And I do have a few updates also about some of our community partnerships that we've been working on between Rocky Hill Public Schools and our town. The first was, I think many of you attended, our art show last week at Cora J. Belden, where the artwork of our students in K-12 was on display. Just to let you know, 1,032 people attended that event. And I just want to compliment some of the people who work behind the scenes. Mr. Jim Schumann, our music and band director, he brought the jazz band, and it just adds such a nice touch to that event. Miss Andrea Monaco, our culinary teacher, she oversees the preparation of all of the treats. The Friends of the Library are the ones who, I think by now it's called the Famous Punch. If you've ever been there, there's treats and delicious punch. And then the National Art Society are the ones who help the teachers put all the stickers of the kid's name on the artwork and hang it all. It's quite a project to put that show on. And kudos to our art teachers, Mr. Dan Hott, Brian Wazanko, Susan Godot, Michelle Mateus, Jillian Scher, Stacy Miller, Chloe Areola, and most particularly Miss Eileen Schneider, who's the subject area supervisor for art, because she does a wonderful job displaying all of their artwork. If you missed the opening night, no worries. Head over to Cora J. Belden, and all of the art is on display through the end of March. Another wonderful partnership going on, our mayor, Lisa Murata. We worked with her to get the word out on the Girls with Impact program. And this is new. It's for young women ages 14 to 24. They are eligible, free of charge, to take a 10-week online class at Southern, tuition-free, to learn about business and leadership skills. And I did speak with the mayor, and she is here. And I understand you've already had some of our students sign up. Is that correct?
Yes, and they're virtual. The classes are virtual.
Yes. That's good too. That's an added plus. So for busy schedules, they can log in and squeeze it in between all of their other activities. All right. This morning at the high school, we had a very successful career fair, and the sophomores and juniors and even some of the seniors attended. There were representatives from the armed forces, different trades, to be electrical contractors, plumbers, cosmetology, Connecticut State Community College, all of these organizations sharing information with our students. And I really, again, I have to compliment the board, because this event started, and Mr. Foti knows, it started at one of our curriculum committee meetings where we were talking about, are we sure we're really encouraging all of our students to be productive society members? So really well done, Mr. Foti and your staff. I think kudos, it was very well done. And then another exciting opportunity is coming our way with Electric Boat. And we're in the process of scheduling a representative to speak to the manufacturing classes at our high school to explain all of the career opportunities available, including getting training through Electric Boat in various industries. So if any of those things are of interest to anybody listening, you can reach out to the high school, the counselors, Mr. Foti, and we'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Listro. Does anyone have any questions for Dr. Listro? All right, seeing none, we'll move along to agenda item number 23, Dr. Zito, Superintendent's Report.
All right, a couple of quick updates. You're going to talk about the Harlem Wizards.
I am.
But I will be manning the scoreboard that night. Tomorrow evening. So excited to do that. Don't approach me about point shaving. You know, the visiting team always wins this game. Curriculum Committee, I think we're scheduled for April 4th at 6 o'clock. You mentioned that. We're going to be addressing the topic of vaping. I think that was expressed by a number of board members as a significant concern. Mr. Fode will be there. Mr. LaMontagne will be there. Actually, Mr. Slatter, you connected us with a resource who's an expert on this topic. And we think that there's some potential to work with this individual in terms of sharing information with kids and preventing kids from doing this. So thank you for reaching out with the resource.
I can't take credit for that. It was Mr. Shabra who passed that along, so.
Thank you.
Credit where
I know
credit's
that
due.
Ron and John have already been in contact with that representative, and I think it potentially could be very helpful. So more to come on April 4th. Mr. Dillon, thank you for coming tonight. Good to have you in the room again with us. And Mayor Murata, we appreciate you being here and recognizing Brian for his 14 years of service to the town. And that's a good segue into the final topic. It's Board Appreciation Month. So we have some gift bags for you, courtesy of the Dream Cafe. Amy, can you give an update on what they're getting since you put this together?
Yes, I can. So if you look in your bags, which feel free to do, you're going to see two pieces of paper. One represents a travel mug that will be waiting for you when you go to the Dream Cafe, because you have to go to the Dream Cafe to get it.
I love it.
And then there is a gift certificate, which will get you a coffee, a pastry, and your selected piece of merchandise. I myself purchased the Zip Up, and I love it.
Me too.
And this is the best news of all. I washed it, and it didn't shrink, and it didn't pill. So
Good to know.
just need to tell you.
Good to know.
I wear it all the time. So thank you so much for your support of this project. It is truly changing lives. It really is, not just of the students, but the whole community when they come in. And the space is truly amazing. Some extremely talented people have put this project together. And I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about Mr. LaMontagne. I'm talking about Miss Emmons, our culinary director, who has bonded with the students in a way that does bring tears to my eyes, and many others. And of course, Mr. Brian Dillon, who had this vision, which I originally fought. But I just really appreciate everyone's support, because this is truly an amazing project, and I can't wait for you to come down and use your gift certificates. I promise you will not be disappointed. And if you want a little sampling before you go home tonight, if there's anything left over there, those are from the Dream Cafe.
Thank you, Ms. Stevenson.
Thank you, Ms. Stevenson.
Thank
So
you.
That's a good way to end my report, and turn it over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you again, Ms. Stevenson. I can testify to the fact that everything on that table is delicious, because during the break I ate, I think, one of every one of them. So I haven't had dinner yet. So moving on to Chairman's report, I was going to start actually with thanking you, Ms. Stevenson, again for the Dream Cafe and all the work that's gone into it. I've been there a few times already. And it's just, the food is delicious, the atmosphere is great, and the kids are amazing. So just thank you for all the work that you put into that. And I think thank you to all the board members. I mean, I think we all, it was definitely a team effort. Another congratulations to the Unified Sports Team. I just think that that's so awesome. I look forward to seeing that banner hanging in the gym. It's a testament really to the community of Rocky Hill, both the students, the teachers, the staff, the administration, the board. I think it's really just reflective of our whole community. So it's always nice to see those kinds of physical things that represent those achievements. So I was supposed to shout out the Wizards game at our last meeting, and I totally forgot. But it is tomorrow. I think there's still tickets available, although it's getting pretty full. I think it was a great showing last year. I would encourage everybody to get tickets if you haven't gotten tickets. There may be some surprise participants, so I think everyone should, it's always a good time. So if you're around tomorrow, I would try and get some tickets. And they're available, there's a link, well, I think emails were going around. Yeah, emails are going around.
Like
So
5 times.
just a reminder, if you haven't gotten tickets, there's still tickets available, and it is tomorrow night. And then lastly, just turning to, to the budget, I think we all kind of can breathe a sigh of relief that it's done. I thank Dr. Zito for all the work that you put in, particularly with some of the adjustments that I had kind of challenged you to do. Also just want to thank the staff, the administrators, members of the public. Obviously, it's not lost on us that it's not ideal to be making decisions on the last day of the budget and making those tough decisions, but I think it's a testament to the process. We have tough decisions to make because we can't fulfill every single thing that we necessarily want to. But I think we do a good job of threading that needle, and I think our numbers speak to that. So I thank everyone up here for your work on the board, and everyone out there and in the room for just, knowing that it's not lost on us that it's not optimal to be making decisions at the last moment, but it's a tough process. So thank you to everyone again. And with that, I think I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved by Ms. Tucker.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Barron-Morphia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it at 8:40. We are adjourned.